Coming up on LUTV News, social media savvy criminals might regret their online presence. We'll show you what happens if they post too much.
Plus, we all know about Anheuser-Busch Brewery in St. Louis, but St. Charles has some brewers of its own. We'll show you what's on tap in our neck of the woods.
And a famous comedian and actor came to Lindenwood last night. He knows a thing or two about reading the teleprompter.
All that, plus sports, weather, and news. Where? LUTV!
Welcome to this edition of LUTV News. I'm Jennifer Brun.
And I'm Taylor Gordon.
A Boy Scouts volunteer in St. Charles County faces a federal charge. According to the St. Louis Post-Dispatch, 15-year-old Michael Engler was arrested because he planned on meeting a 14-year-old boy for sex. The man got caught because it was an undercover investigation by St. Louis County Police, the FBI, the Secret Service, and St. Charles County Cybercrime Unit. His public defender said that Engler plans to plead not guilty.
Around 50 passengers are uninjured after a power line fell on top of a light rail train. The incident happened close to a Metrolink station on the University of Missouri St. Louis campus. The passengers could safely leave the train after around an hour. People in the area had to take the bus because the Metrolink service shut down between Wellston and the North Hanley station.
Missouri Department of Corrections announced early Wednesday morning that it is adopting a one-drug execution protocol. Pentobarbital will now be used in executions and administered through injection throughout Missouri. Department of Corrections also added that it has added a compounding pharmacy to its execution team. The pharmacy will be responsible for providing the drug for executions under the new protocol. The execution of Joseph Franklin, scheduled for November 20th, will be the first under the new one-drug system.
The region's largest agribusiness company is creating new jobs. Governor Nixon met with top officials for Monsanto Wednesday to discuss the company's $400 million expansion. The groundbreaking expansion is anticipated to create 675 new jobs. Governor Nixon says that the science and technology is a booming sector of the economy and is dedicated to create new jobs in that sector. Monsanto's expansion is set to take place over the next 3 years.
A testing work to keep an underground fire away from nuclear waste is going to start next week. The place where the work is going to take place is located in suburban St. Louis landfill. According to Carl Brooks, Environmental Protection Agency Region 7 Administrator, the survey will begin next week, but actual construction will start early next year. Testing work was delayed more than 2 weeks by the federal government shutdown.
Traffic changes are in effect for St. Charles County as the Route 364 project continues. Wednesday afternoon, traffic on Bryan Road will be relocated to the new bridge. Later Wednesday evening, crews will close Route N at Stump Road. This closure will be in effect until the evening of November 1st. The Route 364 project involves building a new extension of Route N to Bryan Road and a new intersection for Route N and Stump Road. A ribbon cutting ceremony will be held at the conclusion of the project on November 1st.
A St. Peter's company asked a 24-year-old woman to cut her hair due to a new policy implemented in September. Ashley Davis had had dreadlocks for 10 years and used them as a part of her culture and identity. A manager of Tower Loan said it was no longer acceptable, even if she was hired with the same hairstyle. Davis refused to change her style and finds it degrading. According to Fox 2, Tower said that a professional appearance is necessary for the company's success.
More law enforcement agencies are building cases from criminals' social media pages. Believe it or not, some criminals are mentioning their acts and even posting pictures of them partaking in criminal acts, with individuals seemingly flaunting on social networks about how the police can't catch up with them. But with cops trolling social media too, it is getting easier for them to put bad guys behind bars.
A European Parliament committee approved rules to strengthen online privacy and outlaw the surveillance the US performed. According to NPR, it will become the first joint protection law in Europe if approved by the full Parliament. Users could ask companies to delete their personal data and limit user profiling. It prevents damaged relations between the Obama administration and European governments. Violating the law would result in a 5% fine of their annual revenue.
A report says that U.S. citizens are lacking necessary skills for the new economy. The Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development issued a report earlier this month that focused on people ages 16 to 65 in 24 countries. Americans are comparatively weak to poor in literacy, high-level math, and problem solving. 1 in 6 Americans scored near the bottom in literacy compared to 1 in 20 adults in Japan. Unlike some countries, the U.S. is not making progress from generation to generation.
Straight ahead on LUTV News, find out which politicians made a bet on the World Series and which didn't.
Plus, the star of Anchorman delighted Lindenwood University students Tuesday. We'll have the story.
You wouldn't let money just blow out of your house. So when your AC or heater is on, make sure the doors, windows, and fireplace flue are shut tight. If you're headed out, turn down the AC or lower the heat by 10 degrees. And always keep your water heater set at 120. A little bit of common sense goes a long way. Get more great tips at energysaver.gov.
When some people struggle with their mortgage payments, they become frozen, petrified. Not knowing what to do, they do nothing. But the people who take action are far more likely to get the most positive outcome. Making home affordable is a free government program. Call now to talk one-on-one with a housing expert about the options that are right for you. Real help, real answers, right now.
I got no pulse for losing. Shocking. Drives it road all the time. Just had a few drinks. Just can't be happening.
Are we clear?
Clear. We just buzzed. Just buzzed? You didn't tell us that, sir. You're right. This isn't happening. He'll be fine.
I feel good.
Really? No, not really.
Buzz driving.
Clear.
Maybe we should stop acting like it's no big deal.
Shocking.
Making it to the World Series for the second time in 3 years is going to benefit everyone. Not only fans, but downtown business owners are excited and happy for what is coming. The St. Louis Convention and Visitors Commission estimates that each home game will bring around $7.9 million to the local economy. Hotels are expected to be completely booked out as well, since almost half of the Cardinals fans are from out of town. Downtown businesses are guaranteed to have 2 home games and a potential 3rd game on Monday.
Missouri Governor Jay Nixon has taken up a friendly wager with Massachusetts Governor Deval Patrick on the outcome of the 2013 World Series. Governor Nixon is betting various St. Charles food and drinks, while Governor Patrick has waged some food and drink staples from Massachusetts. Nixon says he would throw in a few made in St. Louis terms to help Governor Patrick settle his stomach after watching the Cardinals triumph over the Red Sox. Game 1 of the World Series starts Wednesday evening at 7:07 p.m.
For the first time ever, a mayoral bet won't happen at the World Series. Both St. Louis and Boston mayors agree that there will be no mayoral sports bet. Boston's Mayor Thomas Menino hopes that the Boston Red Sox will win the World Series. Game 1 starts Wednesday at 7 p.m. at Fenway Park.
An airplane once owned by Charles Lindbergh is back at Lambert Airport in St. Louis. It took officials from the Missouri History Museum 9 hours Sunday to hang the plane over the Sea Concourse checkpoint in the Terminal 1. They also installed a history kiosk which shows the history of Lindbergh and Lambert. The plane was first installed at the airport in 1979, but removed in March 2011 due to renovations and the plane's conservation. Women's Place is expanding with a new St. Charles office. The St. Charles branch will be the region's only non-residential drop-in center for women. The center will provide assistance to women who have experienced emotional, physical, and sexual abuse. Women's Place encourages women to drop in and says no appointments, fees, or eligibility is required. A ribbon-cutting ceremony for the St. Charles office was held on Wednesday. A special guest had students laughing their way out of midterm week.
LUTV's David Schlager spoke with David Keckner and joins us live in the studio.
Tuesday night, students, faculty, and the community were able to just enjoy some stand-up relief and kick back. Students were able to step away from the books and just enjoy the show.
Would be gender confusion.
You may know him from The Office, Talladega Nights, or most likely from his breakthrough role from Anchorman. Champ Kind himself, David Koechner, came to Lindenwood University to talk about school and life, while of course taking requests to quote his famous lines.
I will smash your face into a car windshield and then take your mother, Dorothy Mantooth, out for a nice seafood dinner and never call her again.
Koechner turned down student requests for any leaks or what to look for in the upcoming Anchorman sequel. Lindenwood's Campus Activities Board set up and booked the comedian.
We've been working on it since the beginning of the year. We put out a survey to see what people thought about the comedians that we were looking into, and we got positive feedback about David, and obviously it turned out great. So it's been a long process, but he's been awesome to work with.
Koechner played to the crowd with history of Lindenwood University, talking about the sports teams, and even pulled a student from the crowd.
So he called me up. I had no idea what was going to happen, but it ended up being really funny. I mean, we got to joke around on stage, which was hilarious.
After the show, Koechner had a meet and greet with the crowd. He also met with selected students before the show, where he shared experiences in Hollywood and gave some career advice.
Have balance. That's what I tell my 22-year-old self. Read more, write always, perform always.
Koechner's next hit, Anchorman 2, will be in theaters December 20th. For LUTV News, I'm David Schlager.
Jennifer, I'm really hoping the weather warms up a little bit by the end of the week.
I agree. Lauren Wan will have the full forecast for us.
The sunshine might be here to stay. Find out if there'll be any more clouds this week, next with weather.
They say that when you're facing extreme danger, your life flashes before you. If you think that's sad, consider facing it before you even have enough life to flash before your eyes. Car crashes are a leading killer of children 1 to 13. Deaths and injuries can be prevented by using the right car seat. Visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat to know what is appropriate for each age and size.
We will have chilly weather for fans planning to attend the World Series festivities this week. As you can see behind me, there is a low pressure system coming in from the west, and a high pressure system has already settled into the south of Missouri. The good news for you is that these pressure systems will leave the area dry and sunny for the World Series games. Now let's switch over to the 5-day forecast. For the rest of Wednesday, temperatures will barely make it into the 50s with clouds hanging around most of the day. Thursday will be a carbon copy of Wednesday with the exception of a low of 26. And for Friday, we'll see sunny skies with a chance of rain and a high of 54. Saturday, we will hit our high of the week with temperatures topping out at 65. And on Sunday, temperatures will dip back down into the mid-50s to round out the weekend. That's all I have for weather. For LUTV News, I'm Lauren Wan.
An Olympic gold medalist comes to Lindenwood University to talk to students. The event takes place in Highland Arena and is scheduled for October 24th at 7 p.m.
Besides being a medalist, Shawn Johnson won Dancing with the Stars in 2009, became the 2008 national champion in gymnastics, and got awarded many more times. Johnson also involved in philanthropic activities. She is a student speaker and is large in the audience can be expected. Did you know that in St. Charles alone there are 3 microbreweries?
LUTV's David Amilotti visited each of the head breweries in the area to learn about the local taste. He joins us now in the studio. David?
During the fall season, aside from Cardinal baseball, most St. Louisans find themselves craving a smooth, refreshing beer. In St. Charles County, 3 local microbreweries look to serve anyone of age. I was fortunate enough to experience that hometown feel and how that creates unique handcrafted brews. Trailhead Brewery, Exit 6, and O'Fallon Brewery all call St. Charles County home. Each of these microbreweries offer their own signature lineups along with their specialty in-house seasonal beers. Trailhead Brewery on historic Main Street brews 6 handcrafted beers in-house, 5 of those are always the same style, and the 6th is on a seasonal rotation. Jake Harrell is the head brewer at Trailhead Brewery. He believes it is the variety and taste in the area that makes this fall season so special.
The local brewers, we all try to do our own thing, you know, to just get a little bit of a variety, but still it has to be a pumpkin style beer. So yeah, you know, it's everybody has a little bit of a different variety there, and you know, it seems to work well for the city of St. Charles here. Everybody seems to love it.
Unlike Trailhead, Exit 6 never makes the same beer twice, except for their 3 flagship beers: the Trotter Fox Brown, which is an oatmeal brown; the Girl Stout Cookie, which is a chocolate peppermint stout. A specialty version of that is called the Barista, where coffee is added. The most popular is their iced oatmeal cookie, which tastes just like that childhood treat with an extra kick. Exit 6 might be the smallest brewery in St. Charles County, however, its name might be the most original.
One day I'm driving into work, Highway 40, there's an accident. I knew I was going to end up being late, I knew my boss was going to yell at me for being late, and I decided right then and there that I didn't want to live my life like that anymore. That I was going to open up a bar, a brewery, follow my dream. I needed an exit plan out of corporate America, and my daughter was 6 years old when I came up with the name.
Of the 3 microbreweries, O'Fallon Brewery is the only one to package and distribute their product.
We started with a tiny little bottling machine, bottling one at a time, so you can get into the packaging business pretty easily. The hard part is doing it on any scale. And so
Brian Owens is the head brewer for O'Fallon Brewery, who got his start as a home brewer himself. He credits the ownership for the beer line's expansion from in Missouri out into the region.
As a craft brewer, I think we're just a little bit closer to the beer physically even. So, you know, we're turning valves and pumps by hand and getting wort on ourselves, and nothing is automated, so it's a lot more physical labor, and so I think for us it's more of a labor of love because we're so close to it.
One aspect I find the most interesting about these microbreweries is that they don't compete against each other. In fact, I heard a few stories of supplies being shared, flavors being suggested among each other in that tight-knit group. You can support your local microbreweries by stopping in and trying their product, even visit them online. For LUTV News, I'm David Amlotti.
Game 1 of the World Series is finally here, and the MIAA preseason rankings are out. We'll have the details for you up next in sports.
In 1977, in Johannesburg, South Africa, an 8-year-old boy picked up the game of golf from his father. By the age of 9, he was already outplaying him. The odds of this gentle lad winning the Junior World Golf Championships at the age of 14, 1 in 16 million. The odds of that